the boy suddenly noticed something unusual. They hurried over to check it out, and discovered a young man possessed by an evil spirit. A little girl stood beside him, repeatedly calling out brother, clearly indicating these two were siblings. But just then, the young man suddenly flipped over, and lunged at the girl. Fortunately, at the critical moment, a talisman paper flew in from the distance, and held the young man firmly in place. At the same time, a raggedly dressed old Taoist priest appeared in Jack and the other's field of vision. What's more, he simply pulled out a talisman paper, and slapped it on the young man's head, and miraculously, the young man calmed down.
多谢道长相助。
The old man introduced himself as Jia Shang, with the Taoist name Zhuangguzi. However, the three's acting was just too clumsy. Jack and his group saw through their trick at a glance, yet the old Taoist remained oblivious, and walked up to Jack and the others. He opened his mouth to tell them they had impending bloodshed in their future, trying to hawk the evil warding talismans in his hand. The result was predictable. Jack politely declined. Even when he said there was something terribly wrong with this mountain, they remained unmoved. After all, who would believe the words of a con artist? Sure enough, as soon as Jack and his group had barely walked away, the old Taoist kicked the young man, blaming their poor acting for Jack not falling for the scheme. However, the old Taoist's final warning to Jack and his group wasn't just empty scaremongering. The group soon encountered a ghost wall during their journey. Mark also suddenly sensed the presence of the Yin spirit. Faced with this situation, Jack, as the backbone of the group, first reassured the three of them, then, relying on his own experience, decided to lead them forward. He wanted to see what exactly was hiding behind this ghost wall. However, after going in circles, they ended up back at the spot where William had urinated earlier.
我们是不是真撞上鬼了？
The moment William's words left his mouth, they encountered a red-clothed female ghost, although the Yin spirit elder arrived in time, and temporarily protected the group. With the blessing of the power of this realm, Lady Chu possessed cultivation equivalent to a 10th-stage chi refiner, so she didn't take the Yin spirit seriously at all, and quickly trapped the Yin spirit in her spell. But just as she was about to strike at Jack and his group, an unexpected person suddenly burst in. It was the scruffy old Taoist Jack had met during the day. The old Taoist quickly activated the bell in his hand, then, with his disciples' coordination, transformed the corpse into a mountain demon. But when the red-clothed female ghost saw this, she was deeply disappointed. She had thought the old Taoist would give her a little surprise, but it turned out to be this kind of third-rate heretical technique, although the old Taoist's abilities weren't impressive. Their fight bought precious time for the Yin spirit to escape. The Yin spirit told Jack that they had been caught in the red-clothed female ghost's spell, and had walked onto the Yellow Springs Road. As long as these red lanterns remained lit, any spell would be suppressed. Hearing this, Jack immediately understood what was going on, and, while the red-clothed female ghost was paralyzed by the old Taoist's Five Thunder technique, he quickly drew his bow and knocked an arrow, destroying the dancing ghost fire lanterns one by one. He finally succeeded in finding the way out, but what Jack didn't expect was,
小姐只是想请这位郎君到府上一叙。
This time he chose not to run away. After all, he still had 2 sword chi from the sword immortal on him, certainly enough to kill the red-clothed female ghost. At the red-clothed female ghost's command, those servant puppets made of white paper rushed madly toward Jack and the others, subduing them completely in just a few moves. Seeing that she intended to kill them, Jack completely lost his temper.
我想你！